Are you seated? Good, because this match will blow you away. Austria are going through a resurgence under the leadership of their coach, Ralf Ragnick, and they have their eyes set on the ultimate glory. For France, they are seeking redemption. France have had two disappointing Euro campaigns. They lost the 2016 final to Portugal and crashed out early to Switzerland at the round of 16 in the 2020 Euro. Now, they want to fix things, and to do so, they want to make a statement out of Austria. Who wants it the most between these two countries? Will Austria's resurgence overpower France seeking redemption? Or will France make a statement out of Austria? Welcome to the football pit. Austria versus France, Austria's resurgence. When Ralf Ragnick took over Austria, his mandate was to begin a new era of football that would attract complete public support. To fully achieve that, Austria had to have a memorable Euro qualifying campaign. They did exactly that. By the end of their qualifying matches, Austria had 6 wins, a draw and a loss, and had to battle with Belgium, who were in fine form. It was that match against Belgium that Austria drew 1-1 at first and lost 3-2 when they played against each other in the return leg. It wasn't as if Austria let Belgium boss them around in those 2 matches. They had a tough match with Belgium and showed that they had the spirit and the skill to battle against stronger teams. They competed heavily with Belgium and only missed out on being the group leader by just a single point. Even when they could have just had a draw with Azerbaijan and qualified since they had a favourable gap on 3rd place Sweden, Austria gave it everything and made sure they beat Azerbaijan. The Austrians were coming off the back of their 3-2 home defeat to Belgium, but they had made a mental recovery to make sure Azerbaijan couldn't pull anything off. Borussia Dortmund midfielder Marcel Sabitzer scored a penalty 3 minutes after coming on as a half-time substitute. It was his goal that confirmed Austria's appearance at the Euro for the 3rd straight time. Now, what will Austria make of this resurgence at one of football's biggest stages? Austria versus France. Les Bleus' near-perfect campaign. Didier Deschamps is angry. France have had 2 Euro tournaments where they haven't been able to fully take advantage of their star-studded team. They lost the final of the 2016 Euro to Portugal, and their performance in the 2020 Euro didn't even show that they were the same team who had won the World Cup in 2018. So, when the qualifying stages of the 2024 Euro came, France's goal was simple. They wanted to destroy every team in their way. I've already experienced situations with almost. It's not qualified. I am pragmatic and factual. The players are aware of that too, Deschamps said, when talking about how France are taking the qualification stages seriously. Some would even say they took it too seriously. They absolutely smashed Gibraltar 14-0. When it was 7-0 at half-time, Didier Deschamps was seen telling his men that they should be even more ruthless. France played at the highest level in their games, and they won 7 matches while conceding only 1 goal. It seemed France would have a perfect Euro 2024 qualifying by winning all their matches, just like Portugal had accomplished. Well, Greece had something to say about that. France had a spectacular start to the game, but couldn't find the back of the net. Fortunately for them, just before half-time, Olivier Giroud found Randal Kolo Muani, who was able to score a great goal from a tight angle. After half-time, Greece scored their first goal and followed it up with another. For the first time in the qualifying campaign, France looked threatened. From just conceding 1 goal all campaign, they had now conceded 3. Greece believed they could run away with the lead, but with only 15 minutes before full time, France found the back of the net. France wasn't done yet and chased a win, but they wouldn't get it. Their perfect campaign was gone as they drew to Greece. Despite that, France have shown they are serious about redeeming themselves. Will that be enough at the Euros? Austria versus France. Who will win? Nothing is ever promised in the Euros. It is the competition for the brave, and the Austrian FA understood this when they decided to bring in Ralf Ragnick to replace Franco Foda, under whose leadership Austria seemed to have stalled. They couldn't even qualify for the World Cup in Qatar with Franco Foda in charge. Ragnick revolutionized the way Austria played. He cast away their cautious, defensive and reactiveness to a game that involved heavy pressing and relentless attacking from the players. Gerald Gossman, who writes for Austrian publications Die Zeit and Profile, wrote, "It's been a concern in Austrian football for a long time. We have had courageous and attacking players, but a cautious wait-and-see coach. Ralf Ragnick is the antithesis to that." It wasn't only Gossman who was a fan of the new Austrian football team. As the way they played continued to excite both players and fans, David Alaba, after a 1-1 Nations League draw with France, said, "It just shows that maybe we're fed up with playing a certain kind of football like we've always had in previous years." Just as Austria was enjoying their new progress, everything almost went to flames. Bayern came for their revolutionary coach, Ralf Ragnick. Even the Austrian FA were ready for the coach's departure. It was Bayern. Not many coaches would say no to them. Well, Ragnick said no, and it wouldn't be the first time he would say no to another team because of Austria. He had also previously rejected becoming Germany's coach. On rejecting Bayern, Ragnick said in a statement, "I am the Austrian team boss with all my heart. I really enjoy this task and am determined to successfully continue on our chosen path. I would like to expressly emphasize that this is not a rejection of FC Bayern, but rather a decision for my team and our common goals. Our full concentration is on the European Championships. We will do everything we can to get as far as possible." Ragnick might say he isn't rejecting Bayern, but it sure feels like it. Now, with him staying, Austrians will hope that they do better than they did in the 2020 Euro. During that Euro, they reached the knockout phase at the tournament for the first time, before eventual winners Italy beat them in the round of 16 after extra time. Austria had also previously qualified for the 2008 and 2016 Euro without much success. Their 2008 Euro was their first time ever, and they got it through an automatic qualification as a host nation. However, after losing their opening game against Croatia and drawing the second, Austria had a slim chance of advancing to the second round, but they lost to Germany. Austria seemed better prepared for Euro 2016 as they qualified as winners of their qualifying group. Unfortunately, they exited the group stage after only picking up 1 point. Can Austria do better than before? Can they make better use of their fourth qualification of this esteemed competition? Well, not if France has anything to say about that. France are Euro royalty. They are one of the most successful countries to have participated in the competition. They have qualified for the competition 11 times, with the coming Euro 2024 being their 11th qualification. Out of those times, they have appeared in the tournament. France have won it twice. The first one was on home soil in 1984, and they were led by Ballon d'Or winner Michel Platini. The second one was in 2000, during the prominence of the then FIFA World Player of the Year Zinedine Zidane. As excellent as France have been in the competition, they have had some incredibly poor spells. The team's worst result in the competition was a first-round elimination in 1992 and 2008. Their performance at the 2020 Euro is also one of their worst spells. France were clear favourites in that competition. They had won the 2018 World Cup, and it could be argued that their team had gotten even better. France got to the round of 16 in that competition and got the shock of their lives when Switzerland scored. After that first goal, Switzerland then tried to double the lead, but couldn't. France got back into the game and equalised before Paul Pogba scored what he believed was the decisive goal. Then something bizarre happened. Switzerland scored twice in the final 10 minutes of the game. The match went to extra time before it eventually went to penalties. The fifth penalty for France fell to Mbappé, who had been having a poor game. He had only 6 shots in the game, with none of them on target. He even lost most of his duels. He did provide an assist in the game though, as Mbappé stepped up to play his penalty. He missed it, and out went France. Now, France have the opportunity to do better, but will Austria allow them to? The two teams have a long history of playing against each other. They have played against each other 25 times. Well, out of the 25 games, France have won 13, and Austria have won 9 times, with the two drawing the remaining 3 games. While history gives France an advantage, their performance in the Euro 2020 has shown they aren't immune to upsets. Will Austria be able to cause one of the competition's most spectacular upsets? If they do so, they'll need their star players to shine. Austria versus France. Players to watch. Austria have got star players like David Alaba, who is a veteran of the game and also team captain. After playing for top clubs Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, Alaba knows what it means to win, and Austria needs that kind of winning mentality. Alaba is also going to be supported by another veteran, Marcel Sabitzer, who is having a great season with Dortmund. With these two as the team's heart, can Austria overcome France? Maybe they would, but Kylian Mbappé, who had a poor 2020 Euro, will want to amend things, and with his form this season, Austria could have their hands full. Another player that'll be a thorn for Austria is N'Golo Kante. His call-up is surprising considering he isn't even playing in Europe. However, Kante's qualities as a midfielder are just too excellent to be ignored, and with how he stops attacks before they get started, Austria has to do a lot of hard work to get past him. This is exciting, isn't it? No wonder the organisers chose the Munich Stadium for the match. The venue, Munich Stadium. The Munich Stadium is such an historic stadium. It has hosted the 2006 FIFA World Cup, the Champions League final between Bayern Munich and Chelsea. It also was one of the stadiums used in the 2020 Euro. Now it will play host to another glorious match. Speaking of glory, who will win between France and Austria? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more exciting content like this.